Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing the result update of three companies. One is Shakti Pumps, Sky Gold, and Maneuver. That is Vedant Fashions. Okay. So first, let's let's start with Shakti Pumps. If you look at Shakti Pumps' ka business model, it could be a bit complicated, but let me try to put it up in the most simple way I can. So you would have seen if you have a pump at home, right? You would use a power to generate water, right? There will be like a huge transmission system. The power will pass through those network, and then after that, you turn on the switch, and then yes, boom, the power comes. Now what happens is with these kind of system, probably it works well in an urban area, but when it comes to rural area, due to the lack of power and electricity issues and everything, it becomes a lot of problem. So Shakti Pumps, what it does, it's trying to replace this entire distribution network, like the traditional distribution network, with solar grids. Okay, so this is what they're trying to do. Now I will just wrap it up telling how these people make money. Now let's say there is a farmer, okay, and he wants to install this solar equipment for all these pumps and solar equipment for these pumps. So what they do is there is this agency called nodal agency. ठीक है, there he has to submit an application कि like यार देखो मुझे ये एक solar का thing चाहिए. ठीक है, he has to pay 10% of the money. Then comes your Ministry of Renewable, Ministry of New Renewable Energy, right? They pay around 30% of the fee. Then comes your state government. State government can pay somewhere between 30 to 60%, and the rest can go to loan in the farmer's name. And of course, right there, since they're a state government, they can probably give or sanction a loan at a very low interest rate for the farmer. So after all of these things, right? All of these things, what happens? It goes to the nodal agency. Everybody sends a report, like you have to go and install it in the this farmer ka thing. So the nodal agency gets this report from all the three people, that is the Ministry of Energy Renewable, the farmer, as well as the state government. Okay. Then once the nodal agency gets this report, they will open a auction or like a bidding process. Okay. And that time companies like Shakti Pump will be like, okay, give me the order, give me the tender. That's what is going to happen. Then what will happen? The nodal agency will allocate the work. It might go to Shakti Pump, it might go to X company, whatever. So companies like Shakti Pump will come, take the order. They will go install these pumps, these solar equipments in that farmer's field. The farmer will, and they will give you certain documents. The farmer has to go submit these documents again to nodal agency, telling you like, yes, this person has come, it has been installed. Once everything has been done, once they get the papers, this nodal agency gets the papers, what happens? They give the money to companies like Shakti Pumps. Okay, so this is the entire way through which they get the order, and through which they through which how they earn money. This is in a very short way. I will go into the business model in depth once the con call is out of this quarter. I will try to explain it even in depth, but now since it is a result update, I'll just try to keep it short. So this is how Shakti Pumps earns money. Now if you look at their FY23 ka revenue, you will see that around 67% of the total revenue comes from government, that is the government projects. Then around 24% comes from export, and around 9% comes from other income. Now when you talk about the other income, it is the industries, the big corporates that are there, that are are giving them the order, or it could be some residential companies order. So this is more about Shakti Pumps. Okay, now let us go and see like इनका result कैसा है. So the result has been fantastic, like literally out of the box. You can tell that that's how it has been. And one of the reasons for their result to be out of really great is if you look at the government, they have started this Kusum phase 3 ka ek project. Okay, the government has started. So according to this project, the government is really pushing this solar panels and regard solar panel kind of pumps. So what happens here is they've told like going forward, we want to install at least 20 lakh of your off-grid pump and around 15 lakh of on-grid pumps. So there's a huge demand over here, right? Because the government is only facilitating and telling कि like आगे जाके ये सब करना ही पड़ेगा. So as a result, because of this, you will see कि like there has been a lot of demand. Now when you talk about this, since I told you 67% of the revenue comes from the government here, right? You will see they've had a lot of order book from the state government and everything. अगर आप last quarter का भी देखते हो, around 21 states were willing to sign up with them, right? They were willing to like give them order book, out of which 5 states, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan, and I think Maharashtra, these 4 to 5 states had given the letter of intent like they had been very positive, like yes, we will commence the operation with you. But this quarter they've already gone forward with it, and they have given the letter of intent and they've signed the order. Not only that, if you see last quarter, Haryana ka government had given them an order of 398 crores, right? Let me just take the number out. Yeah, they received 3 big orders orders, and one of them being from Haryana government to install around 7,781 pumps of 358 crores. That big of an order they got. And not only that, even this quarter they got around 290.
Battery below 50%.
Yeah.
PNA.
Let me just get the numbers again. They got around 258 crores from Haryana ka Renewable Energy Department. Okay, so this is also another order they've got. So over the last 6 months, the order book has been very, very strong. As much as I remember, I think in Q2 their order book was 2,400 crores, and right now as we talk about, as of December, I think their order book is around 2,250 crores, and this 2,250 crores they want to achieve it in the next 21 months. So overall, really great, because the company had been targeting for a 25 to 30% growth. And I'll give you the numbers right now. If you look on a year-on-year basis, the revenue has grown by 57%, and quarter-on-quarter the revenue has been doubled. Actually, more than doubled. It is 2.2x. अगर आप PAT का भी बात करते हो, PAT has been tripled on a year-on-year basis. And अगर आप quarter on quarter, it has grown by 6.7. Of course, the base is also very small, because they're doing hardly less than very, very, very small number it is. So that is why even the change looks huge. But having said that, really great, exceptional set of numbers. Even the PAT margin has improved. It used to be 3.5% same time last year, and अगर आप अभी देखते हो, the PAT margin is around 9%. So overall, great set, nothing to complain. The company has been executing whatever they've done, whatever they told, and like I told you, as long as this Kusum phase goes according to track, and as long as the government ka support is there and the government is not taking it away, then yes, it will work. Yeah. Then the other company that we have to analyze today is Sky Gold. Okay, let me just get it. So as you all know, right, Sky Gold is a B2B business model. So what they do is they design, manufacture, and they do the marketing of all these. They design and manufacture this 22 karat gold, जो है, to the likes of retailers such as I think they haven't got an order from Titan as of now, but for companies like Kalyan, Joy Alucas, and Malabar Gold and Diamonds, and they are very famous for this plain gold jewelry, studded jewelry, and Turkish jewelry. Not only that, they also are involved in the distribution also, but majority of the revenue comes from this B2B model. Right. So अगर आप here also if you see, one thing to note down is Sky Gold in FY23 का revenue was around 1,300 crores, and they came and they were very bold in the con call कि like अगले 3 साल में we want to grow the top line to 5,000 crores. They really want to quadruple the top line from there, right? And right now if you see the result, if you've seen, they have done exceptionally well here also. You will see that the revenue जो है, it has grown by 72% on a year-on-year basis. अगर आप quarter on quarter में देखते हो, even that has grown by 16%. PAT also the same time has grown by 40%, and on a year-on-year basis, and quarter-on-quarter में 23% भी grow हुआ है. EPS also the same time it has grown by 43%. एक है PAT margin has not improved. It has actually been at 1.9% versus 2.3%. ठीक है. Now I'll touch upon that later. But having said that, one thing I really appreciate is the pace of growth. You're seeing that the pace of growth continues to increase. This also shows that this 5,000 crore ka top line, it becomes a very realistic dream for them to achieve if they continue to grow at this rate. Right? Because growing your revenue on a year-on-year basis at 72% is no joke. Yes, one thing I do not, I see that is that PAT has not grown at a faster rate compared to sales, because you see that the PAT has grown by 40%, whereas your revenue has grown by 72%. So you can clearly tell that operating leverage is not there. And I keep coming here and telling you, right, you need if you have a double dhamaka, one is the earnings growth, that is your top line growing at like very fast, and at the same time you have operating leverage also. When you have this combination of both, there is no stop at the end of the day. Like you literally hit the recipe there, right? So here you're seeing a little bit lack in operating leverage. But one thing to note here, they are a very small company, right? First of all, they're like I think less than 1,500 crores, that range of company. Very, very small company. On top of that, they're a B2B business model. If you look at your any B2C, that is jewelry retailer that are there, whether you talk about Kalyan and Senko, even if you look at their margins, they're at a single digit margin, right? Around 4 to 7% in that range. Only Titan is doing, I think, double digit margin, but because Titan has been in the business for a very long time and they've scaled also. Whereas, if a B2C only is doing in this business around 4 to 7% in that single digit margin, of course B2B तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा कम करेगा ना, because ultimately you do not have that pricing power. And on top of that, you do a commodity business, which means what? कल अगर gold का price बढ़ता है, you will pass on the price according to your pricing agreement जो है. And as your gold price will come down, the customer will come and be like, अरे देखो gold price नीचे आ गया, तुम भी revision करो. So as a result, आपको वो pricing पावर में इतना बार्गेनिंग करना नहीं, you can't do, right? So that is why, you know, these people, the likes of Sky Gold, the likes of RBC Jeweler, that is a new player in the market in the same space. What happens is they will always have pat margin will always be low, okay? But the other thing, when you the pat margin will be low. When I'm talking about the operating leverage also, since they're growing at a very faster rate and they're a very small company, it's okay. I'm okay with a company like this having no operating leverage, but they're growing sales at a very rapid pace, because a company like this would need its money to invest back in its operation only, right? So if that is the case, then the operating leverage not being there is absolutely okay. I am interested even to see RBC, because the only difference between the Sky Gold and RBC is Sky Gold does jewelry for like I told you, plain gold, studded jewelry, and Turkish kind of jewelry they do, right? And majority, I think around 60% of their revenue, I think more than 60%, comes from B2B space. That is like they cater to the likes of Titan, Malabar Gold and Diamond, Senco, you know, all these other jewelry retailers, right? I'm just giving names, but I don't think they've got that order from Titan as of now. Whereas when you talk about RBC, they are also into the same space only. You know, they're doing the B2B. They are also like designing, manufacturing the jewelry, but they are very specific. Like हम लोग antique bridal jewelry ही करेंगे, right? That is one thing they do. And another thing is उनका जो wholesale division है, which is the B2B division, is hardly 56%, and 40% is coming from their own retail. 42% is coming from their own retail line, which is at Hardik Zaveri. They have their own brand. Okay? So this is the major difference. One is these people are very high into B2B and these people are low, and the second is wo kind of jewelry they are catering to. But again, here also, right, for someone like, if you're growing at 72%, then I like literally just no words. The last company that we have is Manyavar. Yeah, which is Vedant Fashions. As you know, Vedant Fashions does this kurtas and lehengas, all these wedding wears or ethnic wear, as you call it, for men and women, and they have different brands such as Manyavar, Mohe, Twambe, and Mebas, right? So Manyavar caters only for men, Mohe caters for women. They do all these lehengas. Then they have Twambe, which caters to all the three categories: men, women, and kids, and it is more of a premium, like more than 1 lakh, you know, the garments sell for. So if you look at Vedant Fashions, one of the things they were betting on is like the entire space. If you look at any B2C space, consumer space, there's a shift from unorganized space to organized space. So that is what they were betting on. And the second thing is they were positioning themselves as a premium wear. But here is the thing, right? When you talk about the entire wedding space to go into a premium wear, I know it will happen eventually. You know, we move to an organized space. It is very, very tough here, because first of all, it is a very niche segment, and on top of that, people going to this entire wedding wear for a certain set of brand is very rare. If you look at the entire, if you look at their performance, it has not improved. Last quarter, there was a reason कि like first of all वो 3 महीने में Q2 में किसी का भी शादी नहीं होता है because of Ashada season and rainy season, right? And also last time we saw there was that Ashada season extend for 14 days, right? With any B2C consumer it was a problem, but this time also the problem persists. वही single digit का growth है, 8% का growth किया है, 8% का growth है top line में, say bottom line में भी hardly 4% का growth. So really not a great set of result, especially for a company trading at around 60-65 times earnings, right? So the result has been very disappointing, and the company seems to give the same reason कि like we are dealing with a high base effect, क्योंकि जब आप 2020 after COVID अगर आप compare करते हो, the base was high because there was a pent up demand. अभी जाके वो pent up demand ease हो गया. So I think going forward, probably you can only expect the same single digit growth line, since now the environment is normalized, the demand is normalized, right? So all in all, this the Vedant Fashion ka thing has been a bit disappointing. But one thing to note with all the three companies that I covered, right? When I spoke about Shakti Pumps, when I spoke about what was that, Sky Gold, and when I spoke about Vedant Fashion, we can do three kind of case studies, right? The first case study was when there was sales and PAT. The second was when there was sales but operating leverage nahi tha. The third was sales mein nahi, operating leverage to chhod do. So here was the first company, Shakti Pumps, exceptional earnings growth, exceptional PAT growth. We saw an operating leverage. So these are the kind of companies that do really well in the market, right? Great great, how do I put this, great earnings momentum, great PAT growth, there's capex going on, the demand is great in XYZ. Then we have the second case where the sales growth is there but PAT is not there, but I mean PAT is there but the PAT is not growing at a faster rate. We call that operating leverage nahi hai. This case is also fine as long as it is a very small company and investing back in its operation. There is no problem in terms of like, in terms of demand and everything. So this is also great. Then we have the last company, which is the worst, where you see that this neither the sales are growing, and as a result, even the PAT is also not growing. It is literally the worst combination. I am okay holding the company as long as sales and PAT both are there, or a second kind of combination where top line is growing at a fast rate, but PAT is also growing but not as faster than sales, because they're investing back in its operations or whatever. Because ultimately I would need the sales growth, because if sales growth is there, the PAT growth will eventually come, it will eventually drive. But the last case scenario where PAT growth is there but sales growth is not there, then that is just indirectly telling you आगे जाके sales में भी problem आ जाएगा. So this is that about all the three companies. I might have covered it really fast because I have to, like, because otherwise I won't be able to upload the video if the time goes, if the time extends. But yeah, any I think with Shakti Pumps and even Sky Gold, I've just given a brief on business model, because like I told you, it is just a result update. I don't want to go into depth. Once let the con call come out, and once I go back, after the con call is out, I'll go back to doing the videos in the normal way, where I explain you the business model and I go into detail explanation. That time I'll explain everything in detail. That is, I'll explain the business model in detail. So until then, see you, and yeah, we'll meet tomorrow, and I have some more companies to cover, and we'll do that tomorrow. But for now, yeah, it's a weekend, and if you're listening to me on a weekend, yeah, good. But having said that, yeah, I hope you'll have a great weekend, and yeah, just have a great weekend and enjoy your time with your family. Yeah, anyways, take care, bye.